What is a smothered mate in chess and how do you find it? Imagine a game where the king is completely trapped, with no escape squares left, and a knight swoops in to deliver checkmate. That's what a smothered mate looks like. It's one of the most elegant and surprising checkmates in chess. It happens when the king is surrounded by its own pieces, usually in a corner, leaving it no way to run away. The knight then jumps over the blocking pieces to land a check that the king cannot escape from. This pattern often appears in tactical puzzles and is a favorite in mate-into problems. To spot a smothered mate, first look for situations where the king is boxed in by its own pawns, rooks, or other pieces. Usually the king is near the edge of the board with only a few squares around it. Next, check if the knight can move to a square that checks the king without the king being able to move out. Because the knight can jump over pieces, it can deliver checks even when the king is surrounded. The key is that the check must be unavoidable, meaning the king cannot block, capture, or escape. In many puzzles, the attacking side uses forcing moves like checks or sacrifices to herd the opponent's king into a corner. For example, a queen or rook might check the king, forcing it to move or be captured. Once the king is trapped in the corner with no escape, a knight can jump in to deliver the final checkmate. This is often seen in classic sequences called Null Legacy, where a knight's double check and a queen sacrifice work together to create the smothered mate. When solving mate-into puzzles, always scan for the king's position and see if it's surrounded by its own pieces. Then, look for a move that checks the king in a way that it cannot escape. The move might involve a knight jumping into a check position or a queen delivering a check that forces the king into a corner. Remember, the goal is to find a move that leads to checkmate in just 2 moves, so calculating all possible responses is essential. Understanding the pattern of a smothered mate helps you recognize these setups quickly. It teaches you to see how piece coordination and opponent's piece placement can be exploited. When you spot a king trapped with no escape, consider knight moves that check the king and force it into a smothered position. Practice these ideas in tactical puzzles, especially those designed to teach mate-into skills. With time, you'll be able to find smothered mates faster and use this pattern to surprise your opponents. It's a beautiful example of how clever piece placement and calculation can lead to a swift, elegant checkmate.